Angry, Aussie. 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 Angry, Aussie. 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 Angry.
Here we go. 1 hour till curfew. There's radically, if my Wi-Fi would work that far, I might take the laptop out the front gate. Be radical. So I'd have to put a mask on if I go out the front gate. Fun and games. So it was a little message from Abigail, who's not home tonight, but is with us all in spirit, which is nice. That's nice. It's good to know. Yeah, and we'll see who's here in the internet ether as the evening progresses, and we chat about whatever it is we chat about. And hello, Lee. How are you doing this fine evening? Just feel like arbitrarily saying it's a fine evening, even though for many people they won't be feeling fine and got to be sort of stressed, pissed off, depressed, anxious, any of these things, all rational reactions to the shit show that is the world today. Excuse my mild distraction. I am just trying to check something on the StreamYard. Okay, forget that. Forget it. We're doing. Yes, Raiders. Hello. And lockdown abusers really piss me off as well. Just people being shitheads. They suck. People being people being shitheads just suck. That's okay. Right. That's all good. That's all good. And Chris, hello to you, sir. Good morning, I assume it is for you. We're all grooving. Days of the week. Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Because it's not Monday, because I don't do a live stream on Monday, usually. But a whole bunch of episodes of In Treatment with Mrs. Angry. And, I'm enjoying it, even though, it's... For those who are unfamiliar with the show In Treatment, it was on a couple of years ago. For the first 2 seasons, at least, it centers around psychologist, counselor, played by Gabriel Byrne. I was going to say Liam Neeson, older Irish guy who is in America anyway. Gabriel Byrne, and just like everything's just a bit too perfect for the drama, but that's my thing. It's quite enjoyable. Yes, Raiders, it's not that hard to stay home. No, but you see that video of that fucking engagement party. Those people were horrible, obnoxious, self-absorbed pieces of shit. The funniest bit of their self-absorption was videoing their extremely illegal gathering and video of them being complete fucking assholes about it, because they're so oblivious to how fucked their behavior is. They cannot conceive of there being any blowback. It's amazing. Nice. Lee, the anti-vaxxers made you get your COVID jab sooner. It's a way to go. It's somewhat relieving as cases spread around Melbourne and exposure sites happening in surrounding areas. To me, not that I go out much. Nice to be fully vaccinated. Being a privileged white person, woo. And micro USB, you made it, woo. Oh, you missed the last stream. Well, there are lots of them. There are 4 or even 5 streams a week, depending what I'm doing. So there's a lot of them, but they're fun. That's the reason there's that many of them, is because I still enjoy doing them. If I didn't enjoy doing them, I wouldn't. And that's why I don't do pre-recorded videos for the Angry channel anymore, because I just wasn't getting anything out of them. I realized, and so I stopped doing them. That's the thing. And Chris, you around for a little while before bed? Oh, meeting tomorrow morning on Zoom. Nice. Got to get ready for it. I've got fuck all on tomorrow. Oh, I am taking young Ms. Angry to a doctor's appointment tomorrow, just to check up, because she had her appendix removed last week. They're checking that there's proper healing happening and whatnot. Well, nice. Lee's having a dinner break. That's all good. I tend to eat my dinner earlier, not just because I'm doing a stream, but partly because I'm doing a stream. But I tend to eat my dinner earlier. Not always. Sometimes it's later. Yeah. Micro USB, you have different rules where you are. You still be wearing masks in indoor settings here for quite a while. We'll see how that goes. And Justin, hello. So it's kind of like, just the things just being shitty in the world generally. Mrs. Angry was looking at the drinks carts going, yeah, your drinks are looking pretty good. Let's make something. So actually had a cocktail for the stream. Micro USB, most of my streams are 2 hours. For me, local times, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Friday night's different. Friday night's party night. Depending on my stamina and my mood and how I'm feeling, they go for 4 to 6 hours. And yeah, 4 to 6 cocktails usually as well. So that's kind of what governs how long the stream goes, how fast I drink the cocktails. And some Saturday nights, every second Saturday night, every second Saturday night is date night with Mrs. Angry, so I don't do a stream because we're doing something. Even if lockdown, we're doing it at home. We get a takeaway and we set a table and we have a nice. It's nice. It's an occasion. I like it. But yes, on non-date night Saturdays, they go a bit like they like at least 3 or 4 hours usually. As you see, Justin, you've worked out your singles buddy for Canberra lockdown. Nice. Micro SP, your state's lucky. Followed the rules. Wore mask, got vaxxed. No mask, fully vaxxed. Nice. We don't have any special rules for fully vaccinated people yet. That will probably start to happen towards the end of the year because Australia's vaccination rate is shit. Micro SP, some states still require masks indoor, outdoors, around others. We do because we have just fucked vaccination rates. And it was interesting in the big second wave outbreak in Melbourne last year, the Burnet Institute's analysis showed when there was an outdoor mask mandate, that was like a turning point in the spread. It was, and there were other restrictions as well, but for people who go, masks don't do anything, we have documentary evidence that says otherwise. Oh yeah, no, micro USB. If our federal government hadn't absolutely fucked the vaccine rollout, we'd be gold, because the state governments did broadly a good job with containing COVID outbreaks. Here I am in Melbourne. Last year there was a big second wave outbreak. They kind of got the bit of the excuse of ignorance, not knowing how quickly and how badly it could spread. It spread because of some fuck ups and mismanagement, quite honestly. But it was made worse by people. We didn't really know how quickly and how severely it would spread. But at the point when was spreading quickly and severely, the state government took rather strong action, and it took a couple months, but they turned it around. Whereas now, currently, there's a fuck up in New South Wales where the government state government refused to do what every other state government does when they get an outbreak and lock shit down. And they go, we don't need to, we're special. And now they've completely fucked it. They've completely screwed the pooch, and they're fucking it for everyone at the moment. Marcus B, if you want to come and sort people out, that would be good. Oh, he threatened to release Trump. See, sadly, we have a subsection of our population that thinks Trump is fucking awesome, and that includes some politicians. So, yeah, we actually get like anti-vaxxers and anti-lockdown and COVID conspiracy fuckwits at rallies wearing Trump hats and whatnot. So that's some horrifying news for you. Justin, New Zealand's locking down. Do they have cases? In all the news, I didn't see that. But they've had a couple of lockdowns when stuff's going on. Well, nothing's 100% unless you literally stop everyone from coming into your country, and you can't really. Oh no, CUSB, no. Right-wing fringe wing nuts and conspiracy fuckwits around the world think Trump's awesome. It's fucking embarrassing. It was bad enough for you in America that you had that rather large swell of support for him, but it's downright fucking embarrassing to see people being pro-Trump in Australia. It's fucking horrific. Do you know what? I'm going to make a drink. I was going to try my favorite drink with a new beverage I bought, because like the fun thing about cocktails, they list ingredients, but if you use a different brand of those ingredients, like a different brandy, a different rum, a different vermouth. That's why I wanted to try it with this vermouth, a Woodson and Ford, a recently discovered favorite of mine. So I need to get some ingredients. Get my apple liqueur. And come on, out you come. That is not what I thought it was. Why did I think that was what I wanted? Okay, that's what I wanted. You come out. So many bottles. It's easy to get confused. So, which one will I use? Which one did they say? Zapaka. And they say an aged rum. Well, fuck it. I'll use my Cuban rum. Starting to wear down a bit. All right. Apple liqueur. Rum. Sweet vermouth. My new sweet vermouth I want to try it with. Benedictine and bitters. All right. So, which bitters will I try? Chocolate bitters. Salty bitters. Peychaud's bitters. This one. Negroni bitters. And where is the Benedictine? There's the Benedictine. Buy a new bottle of that recently. Is that it? Brandy, rum, vermouth, Benedictine, bitters, garnished with a twist. Well, I'm not going to bother to garnish it. But I do know my jigger. Where my jigger's at? Okay. So, there. We're ready to fucking move in this groove. Hell yes, I'm having a cocktail on a Tuesday night because fuck the world at the moment, quite honestly. And yes, Justin, shit out of Afghanistan is one of the things that can just like fuck off. Yes, USB. The Trump is a silly celebrity. You can get a bit of a laugh, but as a political leader where he actually was guided by literal Hitler-loving white supremacists. That was not great. That was not great at all. Greetings, nobody. Oh, USB with the Afghanistan thing with Trump supporters blaming Biden. It's ridiculous. There's Trump literally only a month or so ago proudly saying how Biden doesn't want to get out of Afghanistan, but Trump put stuff in place that meant Biden can't get out of it because Trump thinks we should get out of Afghanistan. It's absolutely surreal that Trump was saying that in speeches only about a month ago. And now all of his supporters, including Trump Jr., going like, Biden bad for leaving Afghanistan. It's bad. It's absolutely surreal. Oh yeah, Justin, the photo with the refugees on the plane and the people falling off the undercarriage of the plane, pretty fucking horrific. No administration of the last 20 years gets to hold their head up with Afghanistan. It's a fucking shit show. Hey, Celtic, how's AZ? I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him for a couple of days. I'll try and remember to message him tomorrow. I don't. I've mentioned this before. I don't like to be the one to message him a lot because he has the real problems with sleep deprivation. And I always feel like, oh God, what if the moment I message him is the first moment he slept in 3 days and I wake him up? And I've explained that to him. So, like, I prefer for him to contact me, and he tries to remember it. So, nobody, how you're doing? You're a little touch and go. Bit of shame for what's it, man? Even tiny steps forward are steps forward. And yes, Justin, there was no positive to Afghanistan. There just isn't. There's a long history of occupations of Afghanistan being a real fucking bad idea. Celtic wants to wash nobody's hair. All right, settle down, Tiger. What a glass. This glass, in fact. It's a nice, elegant glass because I'm an elegant man. Oh, and I need some ice. Ice in my stirring glass. That'll do. Ice has gone weird and formed into big blocks, but that's okay. That's good for the Nixon. It's going to be a very red drink because of the very red vermouth that's in it. Oh, it feels like there's a balloon in your chest. Well, understand completely, nobody. Okay. Bit of noisy ASMR as I stir a cocktail. Fuck yeah, motherfucker. Man, this is a good drink. Oh, and it's particularly good with this vermouth. God damn. Okay. Justin, did the Taliban fully control Afghanistan last time? My history, geopolitics, not great, but I think kind of, sort of, completely might be the wrong word. I mean, now they're in this really interesting position. You know, they've rocked into the capital. We're in charge. What are you going to do, man? You got to form a government now. It's going to have to be a coalition. Because no one wanted to actually have combat with you, but you can't just go, we're in charge, or everything will just collapse. So they're in an interesting position. So USB, there's a post on Facebook Trump's is sharing We're not listening to you anymore. No more masks, no more lockdowns. We're told we're going to fight back. Oh, yeah. No, okay. But that's just them being dickheads. The scary one is people like Trumpers, and this is happening in the UK and it's happening in Australia. They're threatening medical staff. It is literally only a matter of time till these morons start murdering medical staff because they're geeing each other up to do it. Yeah, see, Micro, I do actually understand feeling like maybe you should just, if there are these intractable problems in the Middle East, you should just leave it. But a significant amount of the problems, not all of them, but a significant amount of the problems in the Middle East were caused just in the 20th century by European and American imperialists, putting arbitrary borders in areas where there weren't borders before, installing puppet regimes to get control of the resources in the area, supporting absolutely brutally violent dictatorships because they would cut oil deals with them. I completely understand the feeling, maybe we should just put a wall around them and leave them there. But you'd be leaving a lot of people into suffering, and a really significant amount of the problems were caused relatively recently by Western imperialism. So a huge number of the problems are our direct fault. So, yeah. Chris, you do raise a good point in that Afghanistan is essentially a fiction. The idea that there is a coherent nation state that is Afghanistan is a fiction. And I think the British are responsible for that one. But that's all across the Middle East, just fictionally created regimes like in the last 100 and 150 years, and not created by the people who live there. These borders were enforced on them by Western imperialists. So, cheers. Look at that. Look at that blood. I'm going to get a... Oh, it's like so dark. It's a dark and bloody drink. Oh my God, that's a good drink. That's a fucking good drink. There's I discovered this drink not long ago, probably only about 2 months ago, called a Woodson and Ford, and it has the recommended things are apple brandy, rum, sweet vermouth, Benedictine, and bitters. And I mean, that gives you the trim. There's lots of things, apple brandies or apple liqueurs, different ones you can play with. It'll be different. There are obviously a million rums you could put in there. There's a whole bunch of different sweet vermouths you could put in there. Benedictine is a fixed thing, although you could substitute another herbal liqueur for it. But yeah, just in that recipe, you can come up with so many different drinks. And this, which is from South Australia, how do they describe it? Its base was a Merlot, and it's also got yuzu, which is an Asian citrus. Oh, they have a drink called Red Right Hand. I was going to make one called, what's their Red Right Hand? Yuzu, brandy. Oh, and they say to put coffee in it. All right, now, because I had this idea the other day for one called the Red Right Hand. Right hand. Okay, so what's in the right hand? It's got rum, vermouth, an Italian sweet liqueur, and chocolate bitters. And this one calls for brandy, sweet liqueur, the red bitters. I see. Rum. I think I'd prefer it with rum to brandy. I feel like doing rum. Call it a red right hand. And they say coffee liqueur, and these guys say chocolate bitters. I think I'll go with chocolate bitters because I don't like coffee. But it'll make it very red with that and a red bitter liqueur. Very nice. Justin, the British are responsible for an entire hugely amount of border issues. It was part of, it's a colonial practice they perfected, known as divide and conquer, create division within a colonized area and set the locals against each other so they're not fighting you. Sorry, Micro, witness you. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I've got to rewatch Fury Road just as a documentary to prepare me for the future. God, that's a good drink. It's a really good drink. So it was tough asking you, do we hate the British? I like your one, nobody. You weigh in. Hate what the British used to do. Hate what Australia's doing now. British still do it. Don't worry. It's imperialists are bad. Imperialists super bad. I did find, as I said, because Mrs. Angry was in the mood to make something with a cocktail, and we finished this teeny sample bottle of ginger beer from the Tiny Bear Distillery. Where are they again? Yeah, they're in Knoxfield, so I'll have to visit them one day. They're more or less local. I bought their sample bottles, their Christmas sample ones. This one's ginger flavored. We finished that off, and yeah, Mrs. Angry just said, I don't know, looking at your bottles, all looks good. Oh, that ginger gin, and the banana liqueur. And I went, oh, there's bound to be something. So I just searched a cocktail site for something that had gin and banana liqueur in it. And I made it too. And this second one I'm particularly sold on. It's got gin, an apricot liqueur, banana liqueur, a Southern USA style liqueur like Southern Comfort. I actually used an Australian alternative to that. So that's like a sweetened whiskey, basically. And then topped with cold tea and shake that. And it was actually really good. And I also like because you could improvise. Like I served it in a glass like this, but you could put it in a tall glass, put like a heap of ice in, and probably put a bit more tea in, like put all the other stuff in, and then top it up with tea and stir it. Nice boozy iced tea. Micro USB poke jabs the thing is about independence, or as Chris and I always like him to call it, freedom. It's all about the freedom. Gonna free the fuck out of people. So nobody. Most recently, 5 minutes ago, you wobbled a little. Something to brace against. Oh, I'm glad you didn't fall, man. It's all right. So, which we're saying half of which country isn't? Oh, right, Afghanistan. Well, it's a pretty wild terrain. Again, a weird bit of synchronicity that shows the pointlessness of the Western colonizers trying to control Afghanistan. The recent TV series, Sherlock reboot with Benedict Cumberbatch and was it Martin Freeman? I was going to call him young Bilbo Baggins. Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman playing Dr. Watson. And in the new Sherlock, Dr. Watson was a military doctor who had been pensioned out of the military because he was injured in Afghanistan. Guess what? In the original Sherlock Holmes, written 100 years ago, Dr. Watson was a military doctor who had been pensioned out of the military because he was injured in Afghanistan. It's like we never fucking learn. Catch you later, Kelty. Safa, Afghanistan is very mountainous. It is a very rugged and mountainous country. And yes, Chris, mountains, deserts. It's a pretty rugged and tough country that the Western powers maybe should have left alone. I'm just saying. Imperialism. There's not a lot to recommend it. It's it's always funny when you get again, particularly right wing dickheads who think they're smart. You go like, socialism bad because communism kill people, like however many. And yes, the Soviets did kill millions, and we'll probably never know how many. The Chinese Communist Party killed millions. We'll probably never know how many. The Western nations in the last couple of centuries killed hundreds of millions of people around the world with their colonizing. Yeah, well, I think the Soviets from look, Russia from a certain perspective it's not Western Europe, it's Eastern Europe. And I don't know that the Russians were ever serious colonizers apart from literal neighboring countries. Again, my history super bad. If someone wants to correct me, if the Russians had some foreign adventures with colonizing, I just feel like that was mainly Western Europe. The Dutch, the English, the French, the Spanish. Those were the big ones. The Belgians in the Congo, particularly. It seems like the Western Europeans were the big colonizers. But again, big asterisk, my history knowledge, shithouse, I could be wrong. Yeah, I think Russia actually borders on Alaska, doesn't it, Chris? I don't know. Yes, and you're right, Safa. The Soviets, for whatever reason, well, I guess because the Soviets. Okay, I want to be very clear. What I was saying then, I was not talking about the USSR because the USSR were expansionist and might as well call them colonizers. Like kind of, sorta, it's kind of, sort of different, but the USSR very much invaded a succession of neighboring countries to expand their empire, which is kind of, sort of different to traveling the world and doing it. Kind of, sort of not. There's a whole question to be argued. It was bad, okay? It's kind of, sort of different, and kind of, sort of not. Yes, but I was thinking specifically about pre-USSR Russia. Did they do a lot of globe hopping to colonize? I'm not aware of it, but then again, my history knowledge shithouse. But yes, so I was definitely, when I said that, I was not talking about the USSR and the way they tried to expand through Europe, which was bad. This thing, Chris, off to bed. Hope the thing happening tomorrow goes well for you, man. Chin chin. So micro used to be natural land bridge connected Alaska to Russia. Yeah, I guess. And yeah, a lot of people thought the US did a real bad deal buying Alaska, and they bought Alaska from the Russians and said, "Can we have it?" And they said, "Give us this much money, and we'll say it's yours." Okay. And then in the subsequent decades, natural resources discovered in Alaska worth 10 times what the US paid for it. So the Russians like, oh. Safa, Warsaw was in the Russian. Okay, I'm not sure, again, if you mean the USSR or actual, like, Russian czars and Cossacks and all that shit. I know they were definitely into controlling their neighboring countries, like poor fucking Ukraine. Ukraine and the Crimea fucked over so much by various Russian powers over the years. But yes, the USSR particularly surged to the west. They sort of invaded, took over, controlled multiple countries, like all the way up. Yeah, and they wanted Afghanistan because they'd taken a couple other of those central. Well, whether or not they really controlled them, but they at least cut a deal with the people who were and I think they were largely dictators of these Central Asian nations, people like Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and places around there, and they wanted Afghanistan. Didn't happen for them, really. So if you're saying Crimea was part of Russia till Khrushchev in the 50s, yeah. And this is your family history, so I trust you to know this. But yeah, oh my god, that whole area, Ukraine, Crimea, such a fucking bad run, like going back centuries because of stuff various powers in Russia did. Micro, speaking of Russia, keep getting Facebook ads for Russian watches. I think it was hey, we know the Russians are known for quantum topics. Okay, dude, flashback to the 90s. Lots of shops in Australia in the early 90s had these Russian watches, and they were sort of, and this was the USSR was still a thing at this point. So these were very Soviet watches, and they were all with faces that were to the glory of the Soviet and whatnot. They looked very military, and they were big and chunky, and they had some bright colors. I had one, I liked it, but if they broke down, if you went to a jeweler to say, "Can you fix this?" and they'd just be like, "Fuck off, that is cheap shit. It's just falling apart." No, I can't. But yeah, it was like 90s, early 90s. There were these Soviet watches that were everywhere for a while, but they weren't very sturdy. Suggestion: Russia's size is basically a reaction to the Mongols. We're getting to some complex history there with the Mongols. Speaking of empires. Oh, Safra, I'm sure there are a huge number of watches made in Russia. No, Safa, when I'm talking about the watches, they were everywhere in the late 80s and early 90s. I don't know what it was. They just suddenly appeared and they got popular. They're these big chunky things, and they were very colorful. And they're very militaristic as well. And then they went away because they honestly weren't very reliable. Raiders doing smartwatch shopping. I had a smartwatch years ago, and I liked it. And it's a brand that doesn't exist anymore. And I lost the charger for it. And of course, it was a proprietary charger. And then they went broke, and it was really expensive, borderline impossible to get a new charge cable. And I just went, fuck it. But yeah, okay. Now you've put the idea back in my head, Raiders. I'm not averse to the idea of a smartwatch, not least to not miss text. My favorite thing about the smartwatch, because it was linked to my phone, was to not miss text messages or calls. Because sometimes when my phone's in my pocket, I don't feel the vibration of a text or a call. But when it was communicating with the watch on my wrist, I always felt the vibration. Went up, text, up, call, and I wouldn't miss it. So I'm not averse to getting a smartwatch. Maybe I'll get a smartwatch. Maybe that's my next lockdown purchase to cheer me up. Actually, I was thinking of getting a new iPhone because I haven't had a new iPhone for 2 or 3 years. And they got even better cameras on them now, which I love. So I might get a new iPhone. Might get a smartwatch. Might get both. Who knows? Got a tax return recently. Not bad. Maybe that's my excuse. Raiders, you're often without your phone because you keep breaking them. Oh no. I don't think I usually break my phones. This one's cracked. You probably can't. You won't be able to tell. I've got one of those protective covers, so I can't even feel it. It's just every now and then when the light hits it at a particular angle, I go, oh yeah, fuck, there's a crack going all the way across there. Nobody. I think Abigail particularly objects to Apple computers. Don't think she's got a problem. I'm not sure. Don't think she's got a problem with Apple phones. But I've had an iPhone for ages. I'm stuck with it. Oh, Micro, you got into watches over lockdown last year. Bought yourself a nice bronze watch with your stimulus check. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So Raiders is tossing up between a Samsung and a Seiko GeForce. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. Helly and hello, Kirsten. The Ratbags and Rapscallions welcome you. So hands up if we're currently in lockdown. Woo! Billy Lois, hello. Not only, have we? Oh, it's not curfew yet. It's still 20 minutes to curfew. I could still technically go outside my front gate. No, but you hate their crapple computers too. There are a whole bunch of Apple's practices with proprietary technology that I really fucking am not on board with. Absolutely not on board with them. Justin, you're still owed his stimulus check, are you? I never had one because I was working the whole time. There was like when all lockdown happened, my accountant messaged me, said, look, register here because you'd be eligible if you're not earning money. So I registered, but I've been earning money the whole time. So, I mean, not that stopped Jerry fucking Harvey from ripping it off, but you know. Fox of Fate, hello. You and Scarlett in isolation till today. Ooh, had a cough from a cold. We had a cold scare. We actually had some COVID tests today in the household because Mrs. Angry's son, when he was with his dad went to a Coles, which became a tier 1 exposure site. And so testy time. And so, yeah, Mrs. Angry's son is just staying in his bedroom, isolating until he gets his test result back. It's almost definitely going to be negative, but we are just doing the right thing. And also feels a bit good that this is the closest it's come to me. Nice to be fully vaccinated, although as everyone says, the second vaccine gets more effective like a couple of weeks after you have it. I only had it a week ago. Literally a week ago, actually. But we'll see. We'll see. Fox, you don't like the brain tickle? No. Shit going right up in your sinuses. And micro USB, I think you hit the nail on the head. The people who are upset by lockdowns, masks, etc., they have no idea what real oppression is. You're right. Because you can't wear a smartwatch because you'd have to remember to take it off to go to the distillery. Oh, is that... Okay. Is that a security thing at the distillery, or is that a fire hazard thing because you don't take electronics into the distillery because of the volatile vapors that are everywhere? For some places, it's a security thing because watches can be surveillance devices. So, it's feeling like another drink. I might just have this. The explosion thing. Yeah, that's... it's a good precaution. It's probably not necessary, but I'm a fan of precautions to stop things from exploding, essentially. No keys, no phones, no smartwatches. Yep, static would be a thing. Static, because that happens at petrol stations sometimes. When people are pouring petrol, a static electricity charge just spark, and because there's petrol vapor everywhere, and it's just thoomph. So don't underestimate the risk caused by static electricity. Little bit of ASMR. So stir that. Ooh, that's nice. Very sweet. Ooh, 100% cotton uniforms, Kirsten, to stop the static charge. Nice. Micro USB. Petrol prices at the moment locally are quite high. They have varied because we do it per litre, and I don't even know what the conversion is. What's a litre in freedom units, aka gallons? Petrol here is going to be more expensive than in the US because 50% of the cost is taxes here, which I'm kind of okay with. Okay, convert volume. Litre 1 to gallon is quarter of a gallon. So 1 gallon is almost 4 litres. Okay, so Jesus, oh, petrol's so expensive. It was really funny in early COVID when no one was driving. Petrol prices went way down to like close to $1 a liter. So it's probably about four. Oh, and also exchange rates. So $5 a gallon is probably cheap for Australia, and currently it's probably more like $7.50 a gallon, which is a little bit pricey, but it varies a lot. No, but as far as you know, with the phone thing, petrol stations, there are no recorded events of phones causing fires. Yes, petrol stations got paranoid about phones. It's been proven pretty conclusively the way phones work. They pretty much cannot possibly ignite the petrol vapor. But what happens a lot is static charge. Not a lot, but the majority, if not all of the fires at petrol stations are caused by static electricity sparks. Basically, petrol stations on hot days, when there's a lot of vapor from the heat, they're very dangerous places. Another red drink. This one's much lighter than the last one in more ways than one. So, as far as you know, with the phone thing. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yep. That's right. Good at myth. So, yeah, micro USB at the moment, our petrol's probably equivalent of $7.50 US a gallon. And $5 a gallon is cheap for us. So, just another reason to get an electric car. Yeah, if we had the infrastructure, it'd be great. Micro, is there something your country's known to be good at? People like guns, trucks, and drugs. Can anyone confirm? Yeah. And movies and TV and freedom. Yeah, the US is. I think it's fair to call the US a technology leader. Oh, goddamn, Kirsten! I did not see it. I'm on the mailing list. It should be in my mail. Okay, so that's the bone dry gin, and I fucking love a dry martini. So now, okay, now I'm gonna look. Wait, where's my fucking Instagram? What's the Instagram logo look like? Why is it not? Oh, because I don't have it in socials. I have it in photography because I'm a fucking tool. Okay. Yep. Okay, so where now I'm looking it up. The Archie. Oh, Archie Rose. Archie Rose Sydney. There we go. What's this? Tomorrow, releasing a brand new gin. Knock the socks off the Archie Roach team. Best gin I've ever drunk. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sure. I've got. I said to you last week, Kirsten, I've got a space on my gin shelf on the drinks cart. Mail comes 3 p.m. tomorrow. Shazam, y'all. See, Micro, there's the thing. The freedom. That's Chris, who was here before. It's a running joke. Whenever because he's in the US, and whenever we're talking about the differences in measurements, like in metric versus imperial. In the US, they're not imperial units; they're freedom units. So, Micro, for reals, dude. If we were allowed to travel, I would fucking come to your place at 4th July next year. I have no idea what the world's going to be like on 4th. I've been to the US on 4th of July, and it was so much fun. And I've been to the US at Halloween. So much fun. Both of those are really good. 4th of July in the US and Halloween in the US. Both very good. Enjoyed them immensely. Oh, so musical aviator, our aviation nerd, says America used to make good planes till at least the end of the 20th century. There you go. And depending what you're into in cars, there have been good cars made in America as well, depending what you're into in cars. Yeah, oh, geez, micro USB. I fucking loved being in the US at Halloween. The the supermarket, um, the supermarket, just with the whole shelves of Halloween candy, and then all the Halloween decoration. Okay, so Kirsten, you're saying it'll be on number two. I'm giving myself a reminder. I'm setting an alarm for noon, basically. Um, you can text me or something, but I'm setting an alarm for noon. If it's going to be busy at 3, which one can I change? Because I don't care. That will do. Edit this one. Make it for 12:01 p.m. Label it. Change the label to be gin. I'll just do that because now I'm going to get an alarm at 12:01 tomorrow that just says gin. Yes, no, Kirsten, if you're aware of it being live on the site, by all means let me know. But I did just set myself an alarm because I'm friggin' loving the sound of it. Because I love me a dry martini. If everyone there is saying it's like the best gin they've tasted, I'm fucking on board, quite honestly. I freed up some space on my gin shelf by making my freezer martini, where I poured a bunch of stuff in and emptied a couple bottles in to make my freezer martini, which is also good. It's a good freezer martini. But I'm going to make some fresh martinis as well. And I was even going to ask you, Kirsten, your thoughts, because I got a freezer martini. I got my Infinity whiskey bottle. I've now got my batched old fashioned, which I'm letting sit till Friday because there's these things with people saying you should leave it as you should leave it to sort of fully develop all its flavors for a week. So it's like, okay, I made it and I tasted it after a day and it was pretty good, but it was probably too sweet. So I had 2 drinks from my mixed old fashioned, which for those playing at home, 3 different, it was 3 different whiskeys and a cinnamon brown sugar syrup I made and bitters. I had 2 drinks of it, which lowered the bottle a bit. And I thought it was probably just a little too sweet from the really rich sugar syrup. So then I topped it up with another whiskey, didn't add any sugar, and added some more bitters. It smells great. I have been smelling it, but I decided I'm just going to leave it for a week. And I'm going to make a video about it on Friday and taste it. No, I actually made a video last week and finished saying, this is a bit too sweet. I'm going to add one more, come back in a week. And so I'm going to record the final bit of the video on Friday when I taste the. I'm thinking it's going to be good. But what I was going to ask you, Kirsten, because I'm having fun making these batch things. And for the next one, I haven't quite decided. I was thinking maybe something rum based, maybe a rum old fashioned, maybe a daiquiri, or maybe a Manhattan. Whiskey and sweet vermouth. I'm just interested in your thoughts. Which one you think might work as a fridge drink, as a batched drink? Something rum based, maybe an old fashioned, maybe a daiquiri, or a Manhattan. I'm just having all these cocktails on hand, so people go, "No, you want a drink? There's a drink. Fucking go for it." So what are we talking? We're talking plain nerd stuff, musical over. Nice. So you're Into the flight sim. Oh yes, I always knew you were into flight sim music library. Yes. Micro USB got to drive home. Hope you still want to get there. I'm going to be on for an hour. Micro USB. So depends how long it takes you to get home. Hmm. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to this, Kirsten. And I don't know. I might even double up with if I'm going to get the gin. Maybe even one of the bottled cocktails. I don't know. I'm just thinking of maximizing the delivery fee if I get something. Uh, I don't know which of the current crop of bottled cocktails you rank. I mean, I was intrigued by the one that's made with blasphemy, but I just don't like coffee. So that one's probably not for me. But what's the current crop of bottled cocktails? Eucalypt Mule, Rosella Sour, Wattle Seed and Peach, not pea, Wattle Seed and Peach Iced Tea, Red Center Negroni. Well, not that, but the Truffle Old Fashioned kind of sounds good, but it's probably too coffee for me. Oh, delivery is free over 69, so I'm going to get free delivery anyway. Okay. I've actually still got some bottled Archie Rose cocktails in the fridge. I've still got the new Grony, and I've still got a bit of the Gimlet as well. Oh, so okay, maybe I'll just get the gin because I've still got a couple of the bottled cocktails, and now I'm making my own ones. But speaking of the bottled, ready to go cocktails, Kirsten, what do you think? I'm interested in your view. Should my next experiment, now I've got a freezer martini and a fridge old fashioned, should the next one be a Manhattan or something rum based? So for asking you the big questions, Kirsten, do you have so many taste tests you can't drive home after? Yeah, I know you're responsible, Kirsten. You would take the bus home when it's appropriate to take the bus. You reckon rum based? Okay. I was thinking a rum old fashioned, but then I thought I could really play with flavors with a daiquiri because a daiquiri is traditionally used white rum, but I could make it mostly based on white rum, but then just have some of the aged rum in to bring in a different character. And that would be a freezer one, I think. A daiquiri would be a freezer daiquiri, I think. I just want it like fucking icy cold when it pours into my glass. And because I mean, a daiquiri is such a nice, simple recipe that you can still play with. So it's basically just rum, lime juice, and sugar syrup. Really simple, but you can play with the type of rum. You could mess around a bit with the type of sugar syrup you have as well. Um, uh, uh, I think a daiquiri might be fun. Oh yeah, Safa. Jesus Christ. The Safa is sending me updates. Dubbo, my hometown, with cases of the COVID, it's about to get shit's about to get real because Indigenous Australians have such bad health outcomes in Australia, and it appears the outbreak in Dubbo and surrounding areas is spreading through Indigenous families. Like half the cases are Indigenous kids, which is fucking bad. Is very fucking bad. Oof. This, yeah, no, it's not. It's not great. It's not fucking great. Safa, how much about half my family is still in Dubbo. Robert Man Greg, hello. How you doing, man? So yeah, for those who don't know, I grew up in Western New South Wales, the town of Dubbo. I'm one of 10 kids, and of my siblings, my older sister actually died from cancer. It's actually a bunch of cancer in my family, which is very concerning. But of the 9 surviving siblings, one's in Canberra, one's in Bathurst, 2 are in Brisbane, and 4 are in Dubbo. So basically half of them are in Dubbo. Wait, who's in Dubbo? There's 3. No, God. Now I'm, oh, right. I'm trying to track my family. It's like, I'm just not giving away anyone's name. Kevin, Mike, oh yeah, no, sorry. I just remembered the 4th. I remembered the 4th one who was in Dubbo. Trying to keep track of my family. Remember my family members' names and where they live. 4 of my siblings are still in Dubbo. One of them sometimes is in Dubbo and sometimes is in Brisbane. So there's like 2 in Brisbane, but one of them is sometimes in Dubbo, and one's in Canberra, and I'm in Melbourne. So yes, yeah. So. Oof, yeah, no, there are cases in Dubbo. It seems to be spreading, and from my memories of living in Dubbo, as soon as I heard it was like half the cases were Indigenous kids, I was going, "Oh, it's spreading through families. It's spreading through extended families. This is some shit. This is bad. This is bad." 9 o'clock. Okay, now I might just drink water. I'm somewhat tempted. Oh, it's only Tuesday. I think I'll fucking cut my losses and just drink water. Oh, Safa, you're saying a prisoner in Bathurst jail got it? How the fuck did a prisoner get it? The only way a prisoner could get it if it's as a guard or a visitor. A visitor might have had it. If one prisoner's got it, there's multiple people in the prison who got it. Ugh. This is not really a drinking glass, but it's got ice in it. I'm just thinking of adding. No, I'm not, because this is a bit heavy and awkward, and I don't want to drop it and break it because it's important. I might just get a drinking glass and put some ice in it and have some water, which actually involves me going over there, because all the regular drinking glasses are over there. The cocktail glasses are over there. Ugh. Across to the glass house. This will do, actually. Just a small glass. Chunky glass. Pour some ice into it because I like ice. And get some water. Lockdown purchases this shirt with the black cat and the celestial symbols on it, and this fridge. Lockdown purchase. Safa, no, I think fucking all of New South Wales should be in lockdown for quite a fucking while, quite honestly, because the spread of the virus is looking bad. Justin, do I think federal parliament should be sitting next week? They're still going ahead. I thought they might do it by Zoom. I don't know. Federal parliament's fucking useless. Yeah, I don't know what rules they have in place, Justin, but federal parliament is just shit, man. Damn, okay, I need to change the topic to something fucking upbeat, quite honestly. Who has got something upbeat to say? Because the rest of this is shit. And I think have I been watching anything else good? I got into the sitcom AP Bio recently. It's very funny. Like actually makes me laugh out loud. Very good. Very good. Justin, I do not believe the Constitution prohibits virtual meetings because the Constitution was written at a time when people would have had no comprehension of that. Yes, trying to think of just up things. What's been fun? What's been fun recently? I mean, I do enjoy these streams. Yes, Safa, there's a final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine starting. I'm up to watching the second last season, so I think I want to finish that and then watch the last season on SBS. AP Bio is funny. Schitt's Creek is funny. It's been over for a couple of years and I haven't finished it yet. I watched the first episode of the last season of Rake. And that was weird and surreal because in my mind, Rake was made ages ago. But I think this last season was made in 2018 or 2019. So they're talking about, they don't, at least in the first episode, they didn't mention Trump. They just mentioned the US president. And they're making it clear that the US president is a fucking idiot. So they're clearly talking about Trump. So if you're getting a 4K Netflix account, woo! Kirsten, husband brought you chicken brie and cranberry toasty. God damn. You're attracted to him. I'm attracted to him. A chicken brie and cranberry toasty? Oh my God. I'm attracted to him right. Just tell him, by the way, I'm attracted to him right now. Right, Weiler dude. You hitched a ride on a computer game. 4 Foundations. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm here for it. I am here for it. Yes, the Rake, the Biohazard, that was in the first episode. It was pretty funny. But no more spoilers because I haven't watched past the first episode. What did I watch? Oh, I rewatched Sicario, the movie Sicario, the other day, and that's still good. That's directed by Denis Villeneuve. God, it's so well shot. The visuals in Sicario are amazing. There's this sort of pro-CIA drug war shit that's dumb as hell, but looks really together compared to the sequel, Day of the Soldado, where they dumped the female lead. And there's still good stuff in it. And it's like Benicio del Toro is cool. And they do a bunch of stuff that looks cool, but it doesn't really have the weight of the first one. But again, I'm so hanging out for Denis Villeneuve's June, which has been delayed by a fucking year because of COVID. I am hanging out for Denis Villeneuve's June. He's a very good director. Safa, you're saying Paramount Plus new streaming service owes Channel 10. I thought they were going to launch here, but I'm not sure. No, but you're playing Postal 4. My God. You think Postal 2 is funnier because of the comic nature of the graphics. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Raiders, Jack Irish. I've literally never watched Jack Irish. I should watch Jack Irish because I like the lead guy, Guy Pearce. I like Guy Pearce. He's good. But yeah, I've not watched any Jack Irish. So I should definitely watch Jack Irish. I haven't been gaming much at all recently. I started playing the old Mad Max open world game, which is set in the Fury Road world, and it's fun. It's fucking great. But I've only just scratched the surface of it. I've only just started. And I just haven't been in a gaming mood. Like I started Borderlands 3, is it? What's the most recent Borderlands? and I was enjoying it, but I just stopped. I just haven't been in a huge gaming mood. I've got this urge I want to replay one of the open world games like Red Dead Redemption or GTA 5 or Breath of the Wild. Fucking love open world games. Oh, nice, Raiders. You found a 4K YouTube channel. I'm assuming it does like virtual tours of big cities. That sounds great. That actually sounds great. I love that, nobody. You're not sure if the full release of Postal Falls out. You didn't exactly buy it. And then you're just walking around in Postal, flipping people off. Nice. I like it. I'm a big fan of open world games, and the Mad Max game is an open world game, of which I've barely scratched the surface. So for 4K users 8 gigabytes out a month. On my internet, I've got a lot of fucking bandwidth. I'm fine. Oh, good question, Rottweiler dude. Who's my favorite GTA 5 main character? Because you actually play 3 different characters. It's definitely the meth head. It's literally been a couple of years since I've played it. So you get a guy who's like a connected mob guy, a black guy, and this Trevor the meth head. I just remembered his name. I think Trevor's fucking hilarious. Fox, I agree. Oh, you finished the Mad Max game twice. It's very fun. It's very good. So if you're in 4K uses 8 gigabytes an hour, I don't know about that. But yeah, GTA 5 is a very fun game. I love the open world games or semi-open world games. What are the ones I've played recently? Some of those Japanese ones, like some of the Yakuza games, Yakuza 0, Mafia 3, GTA 5, Breath of the Wild on the Switch. Started Mad Max. It's a lot of fun. But I just haven't been in a gaming mood. I don't know. I haven't been in a reading mood. I've got a bunch of comics to read, and I haven't read them. Every weekend passes, and I go, ugh. Before the weekend, I had this idea that I'd set aside some time to just sit down and read. But what I did was sit down and watch TV because there was some good TV, or sit down and edit videos because I had some videos to edit for my cocktail channel. I'll get back to reading at some point. Yeah, Safi, you like the story-based games, you like a book. And that's cool too. I mean, I just freaking love open world games where there's a story that's running through it, but you can also just fuck around for a while. Fuck around and find out. Raiders, you probably can't post links to chat. You probably need to send me a message on one of the other socials, like send me a YouTube message or Facebook or Twitter. The StreamYard thing actually and YouTube, whatnot, actually probably blocks you from posting links. Yes, DM me. Thank you, pal. Thank you. So, yeah. Well, that's the thing. There's probably a new Rick and Morty episode out too, because today was Tuesday. I think the new episodes come out on Tuesdays. And again, you can say Rick and Morty is problematic and the fan base is fuckwits, but I still enjoy it. I do actually quite enjoy Rick and Morty. So if you reckon you'd get distracted in open world games, that's what they're all about. They're all about distracting you. Nobody, how does one get sent messages via YouTube? There's a DM feature in YouTube. I don't usually use it, but I will see it if someone sends me a DM. I'm more likely to get DMs on Facebook or Twitter. But if someone sends me one on YouTube, I'll see it. I haven't used the feature for a while, but all right. So I don't think I've got anything. Ooh, nice. Raiders, you sent the DM on Twitter. Thank you. So if I've ever bought microtransactions in video games, weirdly on mobile games, I have. Not on like computer or PS games or Twitch games, Switch games. But I have actually done some little things on some very small number, like 2 or 3 mobile games. I'm not a fan of it. So I got Raiders link. 8K World. That's the name of the YouTube channel. Oops, stop that. So what are the videos? Wildlife, Hong Kong, Germany, Las Vegas. Oh, dude. Dude. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you. I am really liking the look of that. That looks very good. Is it bad that I immediately thought? So Raiders has sent me this link for this high def YouTube channel with city tours and whatnot, and wildlife, and I was just going, man, oh, you imagine watching that while you were tripping balls? Is it bad that thought popped into my like that one? I want to watch on my TV. While off my dial, just like on the big screen and off my dial, just going, fuck yeah, man. And maybe getting the weird thing where I go up and sit right next to a giant TV. So my face is here and the screen's there and it's out to here. And I'm like, yeah, drugs are bad, kids. Don't do it. Okay. Drugs are bad. Okay. Consciousness expanding, but bad. That's only 9:68. This is one of those funny things. Okay, this is twice now I've checked the time and I've been surprised at how early it is. Next, I'm going to blink and it's going to be 10 o'clock. That's how it usually goes. Yeah, it's only 9:15. Thought we might be out of time. It's only 9:15. And then I'll talk and it'll be 10 o'clock. Oof, definitely not drinking any more alcohol. I'll put that stuff away. I don't think I actually want to drink any more water at the moment either. I have to get up in the middle of the night to take a piss, which again, not the hugest drama in the world, but I have my CPAP machine with all my headgear and my breathing tubes going on. And if I wake up and I go, okay, if I'm going to go to the toilet, I have to switch this off. Okay, I'll switch it off, take it off, go to the toilet, and then get back into bed in the dark and put the headgear back on and strap it in properly and switch it back on again. Minor drag, but my sleep quality is immensely improved, and apparently there's a whole lot of general health benefits, but also I'm just not as tired, or as Mrs. Angry puts it, not as grumpy. But yes, I've gone from when they did the sleep study on me, I was getting 35 episodes per hour. Episodes, and episode means stopping breathing. So every 2 minutes, more often than every 2 minutes, because I just like I was literally stopping breathing, and it's like my brain goes, "You're not breathing," and also apparently my snoring was quite bad. I get that reliable information from Mrs. Angry as well. So yeah, wearing the CPAP machine, the continuous pressure. I think it's continuous pressure air pump. I always forget what it stands for. But anyway, pushes air up my nose, so my airways don't block. So I've gone from 35 episodes per hour to most nights less than 1 episode per hour. And Mrs. Angry assures me I don't snore anymore and I'm less grumpy. And I definitely feel better waking up. Like, the alarm goes off in the morning. It's like, oh, I'm awake. And I don't have to drag myself out of bed. It's like, yeah. And it's weird. It's very weird getting used to this headgear and this thing under your nose. It still kind of irritates the skin under here a bit. Not as bad as it used to. I'm getting used to it. But I still feel it. And it's a bit uncomfortable. Sits here for 8 hours. It's a bit uncomfortable. And like even doing that, I can feel it. A bit uncomfortable. But I have to admit, just having this thing, when I get it situated right, and it is actually like blowing air up my nose, basically. It's like, this is actually really relaxing. It's gotten to this. It was weird at first, but I've gotten used to it. And it's like, it's really comforting that this machine's kind of breathing for me. Like it's forcing air up my nose, which is weird. The whole thing is weird. And I became conscious of it recently because wearing this weird shit on my head and having air blowing up my nose, it was taking me longer to fall asleep, but then my quality of sleep was better. And it's kind of recently, maybe even in the last week, I realized as I'm putting it on, like, I've been going to sleep way faster. So, okay. So it's all upside. That's another lockdown purchase, a CPAP machine. I've been doing fucking medical things during COVID. I had my probing, my spit roast, one probe down the throat and one probe up the butt to see if there was any signs of the butt cancer. And there wasn't, which was nice. And then I did all the sleep tests and got to sleep. So I've been doing a bunch of medical stuff. Yeah, it's weird. So Brady's thinking even the 4K looks good with 8K. Yeah. I'm definitely going to get into that though. I think I'm going to put it on the TV. Maybe this weekend. When I now I've found that I think I want to zone out and put it on. Oh, I think I'm going to put it on the TV when I just want to zone out. Fucking thanks heaps for that link, by the way, because I'm really going to use it. So yeah. So nobody on the subject DMing YouTubers looked how its support found nothing in Asia seems to be a feature supposed to exist. I think it lost popularity, the DMing. So yeah, maybe DM on Facebook or YouTube or whatevs. So as you've been going nuts on a pressure washer. Or is this purchases getting a pressure washer and tools? I'm a big fan of just lockdown purchases. I bought a fridge, I bought clothes, bought a fucking shit ton of booze. Ooh, I got the confirmation email, I think just today, my new kilt is on its way. That could mean anywhere from arriving anywhere from the next week to a month from now. But I bought one that I think is too small for me now because I'm still focusing on the weight loss thing because that helps with the sleep apnea as well. I'm kind of about halfway to where I want to be. Like I'm like 20 kilos lighter than I was at the start of the year. I want to lose like another 20 kilos, possibly a little bit more, but we'll see. It's stalled a bit, but it's still good, still going in the right direction. I'm not 100% sure, but I think when the kilt arrives, it will be too small for me. But again, it'll just be an aspirational thing to lose a bit more weight so I can wear it in summer. And it's a hybrid kilt because my other kilt is a utility kilt. It's just a black pleated kilt. This one is a hybrid between the utility kilt and the tartan kilt. So it's like the utility kilt, but then when the pleats open up, there's tartan in the pleats. So I'm kind of keen to get this one and fit into it. So I think that's the only thing I've got on order. Although then Kirsten's saying with his gin, I'm going to order tomorrow. Then I'll have that on order, which will probably arrive before my kilt. But we'll see. Currently, not leaving the house. because House members are awaiting results of COVID tests, which are almost definitely going to be negative, but I'm still just doing a good thing and not leaving the house. Hopefully get test results tomorrow, which will hopefully be negative. Because if they're not negative, I'm going to have to go and get a test. So nobody, you wouldn't mind getting DM'd on YouTube because you don't use Facebook or Twitter. I'm sure we'll work something out. So Ray, did you get lost in that footage? Sharing the Zen. Nice. Yeah, Safra, I'm not in a huge rush to travel because of COVID. But some virtual travel with some nice high-def video. Looking forward to it. Is nobody good feeling getting negative test results back? There have been COVID tests in the house before, and now there are again. And they're almost definitely going to be negative, but we're just doing the right thing at the moment and not leaving the house. And Mrs. Angry's son, who's the most likely one to return a positive test, he's self-isolating in his room. So tests are almost definitely going to be negative. If they're positive, then I have to go for a test. And yeah, we'll take from there. Again, hopefully, being fully vaccinated, I'll come back negative as well. But we'll see. We will see. Just the fucking variety of these things. Oh, Radies, you're limited to what you do to your eye surgery heals. So you've been playing the stock market. Dude, you got all sorts of shit going on. All sorts of shit going on. God damn. Yeah. Currently, there are so many exposure sites in Melbourne, and a lot of them are sort of surrounding areas to me. One was at the supermarket that I go to, not when I was there, but I think, Heidi ho, Nettie, how's it going? So I was saying, like, a couple of weeks ago, I think I could have accurately said the chances of me getting exposed to COVID were like literally 1,000,000 to 1 because there were no known cases in circulation. The change in the last 2 weeks, I think the chances of me getting exposed to COVID at the moment are about 1,000 to 1. The chances of me contracting COVID are much lower than that because I'm immunized, but it's not impossible. But the chances of me being exposed are probably about 1,000 to 1 at the moment, which is actually reasonably likely. Oh, God, Raiders, you were looking around on your CommBank app. They make the stock market play too easy. I have to admit that I have had the temptation occasionally to play around with cryptocurrency. Oof, that's a bad one. Nobody heard people getting migraines from sinus aggravation from the test because they jam it right fucking up there. Well, I have thought about this. Just mentioning cryptocurrency. I'm trying to think which site to go to. My brain is actually just seizing up on the most common cryptocurrency. I'm remembering all the obscure ones like Ethereum and Dogecoin. Where's my mouse? What's it doing? Bitcoin. Oh my God, that's what I was thinking. So, Bitcoin is currently 46,000, down 1.5% in 24 hours, but up 2.5% over 7 days. Ethereum, which is number 2, is very close to the same, down 1.5% 24 hours, but up 3% over a week. Doge is down 5%, 24 hours, but up 30% over a week. It's a volatile one. Okay, show me, I want to see the Bitcoin history. Oh man, it spiked back up. So in April, it was like $60,000. Then it dipped in July to 30, and now it's back up. to 45. Man, so fucking volatile. So easy to lose everything. Yeah, Raiders, avoiding crypto like the plague. Yeah, fair call. It's so dodgy. And yes, crypto is on the verge of being banned in a bunch of countries because it is a bullshit scam, quite honestly. I don't have any investments. I've got savings in the bank, but I don't have any investments. There are people trying to advertise. They're not trying to advertise. They are advertising to me on Facebook, trying to get me to buy some investments in whiskey, which I'm not going to do because the only serious whiskey investment thing in Australia turned out to be a complete fucking scam. So, no, thank you. Ugh, it's just like there are so many fucking scammers in the financial world. So, yeah, I didn't even click on these invest in whiskey ads to find out how they were trying to do it. But yeah, the only widely known whiskey investment in Australia turned out to be a complete scam. And then the same people tried to pull another scam. And it was just like ridiculous. Nobody found what you think is interesting. Criminals using crypto for illegal trade. The way it's guaranteed being traceable. I think that's a kind of yes and no thing. Again, I'm not an expert, so I don't really want to dive into it. But yeah. Raiders, your email spam's 90% crypto, which maybe stay away. I would be super, super, super fucking careful about investing in crypto, and I'd want to be really sure about the investment mechanism, because even like crypto itself is dodgy as fuck, but some of the investment mechanisms are just straight up criminal scams. But I mean, when I just looked at that thing, like Dogecoin had gone up 30% in a week. That's deranged. 30% in a week? I feel like I could do it if I had a trusted uh, arbitrage network. I could do it, but I'd want like an algorithm, and it's like, okay, if it goes up X%, sell, and it's kind of like go up, 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 and then keep it while it's going up. But if it dips X%, sell, and then when it craters, if it goes up again, X%, buy again. Like sell at the high and buy at the low, basically. Lee, you reckon Combank does crypto? I don't know. So nobody, as far as you know, crypto has a record of everywhere it's been. No, I think you do have a misunderstanding there. Nobody. You have to keep your wallet on your computer, but someone from the outside, as my understanding, it can be virtually impossible for an investigative person to track a crypto transaction to an individual who doesn't want that transaction tracked to them. So, sorry, Lee, I completely misunderstood your comment. You would trust Combank, but you don't trust crypto. Yeah, no, I don't particularly trust Combank either, but I'd trust them on crypto. Hello, Ian's World. How are you doing? See, now you got me going, because I actually have the Combank app here, and so it's like, okay, I've never bothered to look at stock stuff on here. I'm not buying anything. I'm just looking. Okay. Now, what are they going to tell me? Chat with us. What's new? Benefits, bills, category. Combank app and sites. That would be ComSec, I guess. Oh, and they won't down because that's a new app. Okay, I'd have to download the other app. So, wait, how much money do I have? Here's my accounts. Tell me my accounts, Combank. Okay. I'm rich, bitch. Kinda. Don't even know how much my credit card. That might change tomorrow when I go to buy some gin. Ha ha! Buying booze counts as groceries. All right. Ruki-san, no creative greeting. Hello. It is a. Oh, you don't even know. Sick shirt, dude. I got to stand up with the black cat with the celestial symbols. It's a sick shirt. One of my lockdown purchases. So we're saying, Raiders, the app is Combank Pocket. See, now for a fucking laugh, I'm going to fucking download it. App Store. App Store. What's in the App Store? No, I'm not going to fucking DoorDash. Those things are evil. Combank Pocket. Ooh, someone paid to have their crypto trading app appear above the Combank app. Man, Apple are fucking scammers. All right, I'm just going to get that, and I'll look at it tomorrow. Double click to install. Done. All right, cancel. Go. We're done. We're done. Wait, what do they want to update? Instagram. Ooh, they want to update Dan Murphy's. I better update Dan Murphy's. I don't want my Dan Murphy's app to be fucking out of date. That could be bad. Ricochet, who's the boss, did a decent crypto for noobs type video. Thank you. I got a friend who's actually well into it, but I've just never bothered. And thank you for approving of the shirt too. It's just one I've got about. Man, I got so much. This is actually in a somewhat different style to most of them because most of the shirts I've bought are like this 50s, 60s abstract type of decor that just makes me think of Playboy apartments and whatnot. And a bunch of them are cocktail themed. This is not cocktail themed. This is just the celestial symbols and the black cat. So this is actually stylistically quite different to a lot of them. So, but yes, I got a lot of cocktail themed ones, and they're advertising more cocktail themed ones to me that I'm really, really tempted by. That maybe have enough. Ollie, Berkshire Hathaway. That's what's his name's company is a very interesting company. You want me to parade my shirts? Actually, there's a video I was just editing for my cocktail channel on YouTube where I wear 3 different cocktail shirts because I actually shot it over 3 days. Oh, nice. The black cat's a symbol of Old Tom Gin. I like that. Also, there's that famous, I think it's a Toulouse-Lautrec design for a Parisian night spot, La Cat Noire. Thank you, Lee. That's his name, Warren Buffett. I'd forgotten his name. Bill Gates' mate. Yes, but yeah, black cats are cool, and that's a less abstract black cat. There's a whole run of these shirts that have these really abstracted, cartoony black cats doing all sorts of things. And I had one of my shirts. It was like black cats living in an apartment, and again, there's this very 60s vibe, which I quite like. And then I found what it was: black cats making cocktails. It's black cat with a shaker, shaking a cocktail, and a black cat with a martini. They came out of the shaker, I assume. Not that you should shake martinis. So Rick saying you attempted to get eToro. Ah, yes, I'm aware of that one. Similar. You realize, you know what? It's a rich person's game. Yeah. I mean, I could probably afford to speculate a little bit. Like I was joking then when I'm rich bitch when I looked at my bank accounts, just compared to how I used to be. The last couple of years has been pretty good, and certainly in the last 10 years, I've had times that were much more lean than what I have now. Yes, I love it. Ricky said, we're all talking finance. We're from the big end town. Big boys, the big boys talking about finance. Okay, Combank Pocket. Hello. Start small, simple choices, learn as you go, low cost, easy setup. Do I remember my Combank details? Oh no, this is doing my head in. I used to remember it, and just now I'm under pressure. It's like someone just put me under pressure, and I forgot. I think I've got it printed on a piece of paper in here. Someone gets my wallet, they get my bank account as well. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have my password on it. Wouldn't help them at all. But I think it's got my client ID. It just popped back into my head. I'm amazed that I remembered an 8-digit number. Says my client ID and password are not correct. Okay. No, Facebook. I don't know. Oh wait, am I not Face ID'd on Combank? I thought I was. Sorry, this is just scintillating content, I know. Well, get fucked. Okay? Get fucked is all I'm saying. No, check out Jim Jeffries' podcast. I don't know about that. Look up dark web. Oh, the dark web is weird. Quality content. Me trying to log into a finance application on my phone. I know what the people want. Is what I'm saying. I know what the people want. I will try to sort. I'm kind of interested in it. I'm going to try and sort it out tomorrow. It's ridiculous trying to sort it out tonight. I will try. Stop that. What the hell was that? Fucking YouTube, honestly. Yeah. Okay. There are various things that both YouTube and StreamYard do that make my life unnecessarily difficult. And I don't know why they do that, but it bothers me. Oh, what is? I just flashed to the old Russell Crowe movie Gladiator, when Caesar, played by Joaquin Phoenix, realizes who the gladiator is. The general he thought he offed, and he's telling us, I'm vexed. I'm very vexed. Lee, the Combank app I have doesn't have the pocket thing on it. And I thought it would be the same user ID, and it apparently is not. Hello, Abigail. Thank you for checking in. Having fun? It's been Star Trek and no chill. Night is young, though. Oh, well. Star Trek. It's not bad. When do we get new Star Trek? I heard a rumor that a new series of Below Decks was about. I don't think the new series of Picard's going to be out till late this year or early next year. But I did hear there was a new season of Below Decks in the offing, and there's supposed to be a couple more spin-offs, but I don't think they're arriving before next year. Micro USB's back. You made it. Last 15 minutes. You made it. You're here. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. You missed the really exciting conversation about finance. Moving on to Star Trek now. But we shall see what happens. I saw, actually, just talking about watching things. I saw a thing on YouTube today. It seems like it's a promo for future season of The Boys, a news broadcast for the fictional TV network in the world of The Boys, the Vought network, where they're talking about the top stories of the world. And it's like, oh, that feels like they're gearing up to promo for season 3 of The Boys, which I'd be down for because it's all hyper violent and sweary, and I'm into violence and swearing. Raiders was Eileen Ormsby's Melbourne-based dark web expert. Oh, nice. Nice. Yes, it's a funny old world. Robert Mangreg, you're saying Lower Decks is now on Amazon Prime, season 2, episode 1. Okay, I probably won't get a chance to watch it before the weekend. Or maybe I'll watch it. It's only half an hour. I might watch it at lunch tomorrow. We shall see, because I was watching some other things that are finished. MODOK on Disney Plus. That was funny. That was an upmarket version of the Robot Chicken animation. It was actually the people behind Robot Chicken, but they had more money to make it a bit more upmarket than the Robot Chicken animation. Patton Oswalt voicing the old Stan Kirby Marvel villain MODOK. It was very funny. And Ruka-san, The Boys is a rather dark it was a comic like 10 years ago or something from one of the Brit comic writers who came out of 2000 AD, Judge Dredd stuff. And it was basically, what if superheroes, but they were fucking pricks? And the Boys are this group of non-superhumans who try and keep the supes in line. And the TV, I've read the first volume of the comic, and the plot in the TV and even the characters in the TV show quite different to the comic, different enough to be really interesting. I actually think I prefer the TV show to the comic. Raiders looking for more Prime recommendations, not sci-fi. I'd have to put a bit of thought into it. I think most of what I watched on Prime has been sci-fi or fantasy, actually. Things like American Gods and Good Omens and The Expanse and the animated Star Trek Below Decks. Tales from the Loop was on there, I think. Yeah, I think most of what I've watched on Prime has been sci-fi, like Upload and yeah. The Boys is like comic book superhero, but extremely dark. Raiders, you watched the Pink Doco and loved it. Yeah, they've got some good movies on Prime, I think, like stuff that they actually, Prime paid for. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just fucking start skipping through this stuff and see if any of it sounds good. But yeah, I think most of what I've watched on Prime has been sci-fi or fantasy. Micro USB, crazy used to watch. You were watching me when you were 15. Losing my mind over shit, yelling with passion. Yeah, no, and yeah, now it's just discussions. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing this shit for 15 years. And I don't know, it was something about COVID. It was actually literally the combination of Trump and COVID. And I'm just going like, all I'm talking about is either Trump or COVID. and it doesn't feel good. And so, yeah, for the last friggin' the best part of the last 18 months, this is what I've been doing. Oh, I got a massage. Woohoo! Okay. Mrs. Angry already got a negative COVID test result after only 9 hours. It's because she's a health worker. Her stuff gets accelerated. Her lad will probably get the test result tomorrow. So, hurrah! So, Marco Speed, the only Prime thing you watched was the Grand Tour. That's the reason you got Prime. I got Prime for American Gods and Good Omens, both based on stuff by one of my favorite writers, Neil Gaiman, and he was involved in the development of both shows. More closely with Good Omens, but he was involved with American Gods. Raiders, did I ever cross paths with Matt Sigley? No, I am not at all familiar with the name Matt Sigley, actually. Is he related to Ernie? I'm familiar with the name Ernie Sigley. I've not run into him though. Okay, just for a laugh, because we're talking Prime, I'm just going to do a Google search. Best rated Prime shows. I'm just going to leave it. Best rated stuff on Prime. What's popular on Prime? Tell Me Your Secrets. Haven't watched that. Modern Love. Haven't watched that. The Wilds. Haven't watched that. The Expanse. Have watched that. Fucking awesome. Outpost. Haven't watched that. Homecoming. Haven't watched that. The Stand. The Stephen King thing. Haven't watched that. The Boys. I enjoyed that. Little Fires Everywhere. Haven't watched it. Bordertown Animation. I haven't watched. Bosch. I haven't watched. Fleabag. I watched and enjoyed. Brit comedy. Very millennial sort of vibe to it. Upload. I watched a sci-fi. I enjoyed that. Utopia, I haven't watched. Magicians, I haven't watched. This Is Us, I haven't watched. Undone is a sort of a rotoscope animation that I keep meaning to watch. I haven't. Jack Ryan, which I haven't watched because it just looked fucking embarrassing. It's what's his name from The Office playing young Jack Ryan, the Tom Clancy character. When I saw, I think it was the second season, the entire premise of the plot was they're saying the CIA should be in there destabilizing Venezuela because Venezuela was aiming at getting nuclear weapons to attack America. And that's so embarrassingly fucking stupid. I couldn't bring myself to watch it. American Gods, awesome. Cruel Summer, haven't watched it. Pursuit of Love, haven't watched it. Hunters, which is, I think, about Nazi hunters, haven't watched it. Absentia, haven't watched it. Hannah, haven't watched it. Soulmates, haven't watched it. Alex Rider. See, there's this. Oh, Carnival Row was good. That was fantasy. Man in the High Castle, I haven't watched. That's alternate history where the Nazis won World War II. Picard, which I like, but it's like sci-fi. You said not sci-fi. Invincible was great comic book animation. Again, dark, space Nazi sort of stuff. Oh, they've got some Doctor Who, not in Australia. Yeah, I'd say, I started watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and quite liked it. I'd say just go on, do a search on best stuff on Prime and watch it. Like binge? Micro SP, random question I probably won't know, be asked. When I did watch you at 15, I had messaged you for an autograph because I wanted to collect autographs of YouTubers. Thought I'd get famous. Messaged you asking for one. You said, sure. Asked for a blank piece of paper. Says weird, but sure. Oh! Okay, I don't know why you didn't get it. Either, most likely, I'm just a slack bastard. That is, in all seriousness, ringing bells. But I can't specifically say why you didn't get it. Whether I sent it and it went astray. I feel that is definitely ringing bells, and I felt like I sent it. But maybe I'm just a slack bastard. That's a big thing with me. Like, what did you? Oh, I got distracted. I'm very easily distracted. but it is absolutely ringing bells. And I kind of feel like I sent it, but I wouldn't swear to it. There is always a very reasonable chance that I'm just a slack bastard who's easily distracted, and I forgot to do it. I forgot to do it. Um, I think that's a reasonable possibility. Um, hey, Toby, how's it going? Here for the last 5 minutes, brah. Good to see you on the Facebook. Um, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, what am I subscribed to at the moment? I've got Foxtel, which I've had forever, which I probably should dump, quite honestly. Um, yes, microsphere. In hindsight, random American asking for a signature on a blank piece of paper, really sketchy. Yeah, uh, yeah. But it's the world. The world is a strange place. I got Foxtel. I got Netflix. I got Disney Plus. I got Prime. And it's funny because every now and then I think because I'm only watching a couple shows. Is it worth it? I thought, oh, prior to being on these streaming services, I would buy whole seasons of TV shows I wanted to watch on disc, and that costs at least $30 or $40 for a season. I'm going, oh my god, that's like 3 month subscription on these things. So yes, it's worth keeping it up, even though I'm only watching a few things, because otherwise I'd be buying these fucking box sets. So thanks for saying hi, Toby. Right, is you're into the F1, the European summer? Yeah, I do not do the sports thing, which is funny because the package I have with Foxtel has all the sports things, and because I bought the entertainment pack because I wanted movies and the Premier TV stuff. So sports people would be very jealous that I have all these channels that I literally never watch, which is making me sound like a hipster or a snob or something. So maybe I should just own that. But I'm just not into it. Toby, what am I into watching? In the moment, I was watching the Walking Dead spin-off at lunch today, Fear the Walking Dead. What things I'm watching? I just finished. I like the Marvel stuff on Disney Plus. Also watched some of the Pixar stuff that's been on Disney Plus. What am I watching on Netflix? I've been watching some of the comedy series like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, AP Bio, Schitt's Creek. On and off watching Rake and Ozark and Narcos. What else I was watching? Ran through some of the stuff I'd watched on Prime, a lot of the sci-fi. I think most of the stuff I've watched on Prime, I finished watching, and I need to find new stuff. I think. Oh, that was a funny one. There was a sort of as like a comedy version of the X-Files called, I think it's called Truth Seekers. It's got Nick Frost in it, the guy who did all those movies with Simon Pegg. And Simon Pegg is actually a supporting role in it. Nick Frost is like the lead in it. And yeah, the best way to describe it is it's like a comedy version of the X-Files, and it's actually really good. It's only one season of it, and I listened to a podcast interview with Nick Frost the other day. Apparently, not a pleasure to work on. Apparently, it's quite stressful, and a lot of things went wrong in the development and shooting of the show, not least because of COVID. But really quite enjoyed watching it. You like the technology, the F1 cars, but you're not that into watching them. Yeah, that's fair. Right, you got Koyo, which is all the Foxtel Sport, a standalone for $25 a month. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I mainly watch like movies and the Premier TV series, like saying The Walking Dead, Westworld, like all the HBO stuff that's on Foxtel is pretty good. Like Mrs. Angry and I have been doing the binge watching, a couple of nights a week. When I'm not streaming, I'm binge watching stuff with Mrs. Angry. We watched 6 Feet Under all the way through. That's like a 20-year-old 5-season show we watched through. We're currently about halfway through 3 seasons of In Treatment, which, yeah, each half-hour episode is like a therapy session with a different patient. It's quite interesting. Yeah, and I watch a lot of movies on Foxtel, and as I said, I was watching Fear the Walking Dead because what I think is the final season of The Walking Dead is about to start. So I want to catch up on the spin-off. Yes, that is actually true. I do have YouTube Premium as well, Raiders, which is mainly to not get ads, and also to support the creators. If I watch stuff on YouTube Premium, it gives a couple of cents to creators. So yeah. Micro speed, you're not knocking all the cars. The drivers hate how brittle the cars are. How many rules to make them follow? Yeah, it's the F1 is a bit. Also, the F1 is corrupt as fuck. Like the Olympics, the IOC corrupt as fuck. FIFA, the World Football Association, corrupt as. Basically, you give people power, they end up being corrupt as fuck. If there's a way they can exploit things for money, they'll do it. It's just how things work. Toby, the upsides of YouTube Premium: no ads. The YouTube Music app, which I use all the fucking time. Like, I don't use Spotify. I use YouTube Music on my phone all the time. And there was theoretically the YouTube Originals, which I don't even know are still a thing. And I never watched them. I watched a bit of Cobra Kai, which is on Netflix now. It was originally a YouTube Premium thing. And there was another one that I watched a little bit of, which I think is on Prime now. It was a really violent one. But anyway, can't even remember what it's called. But yeah, the ups of YouTube Premium: no ads, supporting creators, and the YouTube Music app. Yes, sorry, Raiders. I know FIFA is corrupt but separate to the F1. You reckon F1 is clean? Okay. Historically, they haven't been. Nobody have an ad blocker. Let pre-rolls play. But turn ad block on for mid-roll. Yeah, mid-roll ads. Oh no, hate them. But yes, no. YouTube Premium, no ads. Support creators. Get the YouTube Music app. Now, also with Prime, I get the Prime Music app, and I almost never use it because I just like the YouTube Music app better. Like, I like the auto-generated playlists. Play one song, and it just goes, "Oh, I think you'll probably like these because you selected that one." And because I've used it's got a bunch of algorithmic knowledge about me, and so it normally does good playlists for me when I ask it to auto-generate. Oh, thanks, Raiders. FIA is the French. They oversee all motorsport. Well, that's good. And anyway, that's actually taken us past 10 o'clock. And as it is a work day tomorrow, even though I'm working just back there, I'm still going to go to bed. Get up at the crack of 7 a.m. and put on my dressing gown and go to work. I usually wear my pajamas till like lunchtime or at least mid-morning. I just roll out. It's just like, okay, yeah, bed, put pajama pants on, dressing gown, sit down, have some breakfast, stare at my screen, and somewhere between mid-morning and lunch, I'll have a shower and put actual human clothes on. But anyway, fabulous people, thank you. Thank you for hanging out. Nice to see you. I won't be on tomorrow night. Be one of my binge watching nights with Mrs. Angry. We'll churn our way through a few more hours of In Treatment. But if nothing changes, I will be back on Thursday night. So I'll see you then. But in the meantime, take care, and I hope to see you again soon. But